Okay, this is part 2 of my repairing the keyboard and maintaining it, my Triton Pro. Alright, here we go. Here we are so far. I've got the carriage disassembled, and I am reassembling. See, here's the actual keys. Okay, they're just plastic deals with tabs and things. A lot of the tabs have broken. If you look right here, see, I have put Vaseline, to keep them so that they, smoothly operate no matter up and down the keyboard. Now they're locked and unlocked. If you can see how I push this back and then push it down in the hole and it locks, and then you can see now it's locked, and then there's one that's unlocked. Alright, so I've got this many put in, and I had to clean each one. Alright, so, and the reason I'm having to do this is because over time, a lot of these little tips you see are broken. See right here, those tabs, that one right there is broken. It's short. So I have to take one of these tabs, the white ones in this particular instance, and match it up and glue it back together, and then hook it back onto here. Alright, this is where I'm at so far. I'm halfway through the keyboard. But even so, I've got the rest of the carriage here, or the chassis of it, and the top part to clean up and get all spiffed. Now, one of the things you need to do is when you're doing the keyboard, once you break down the broken parts with the parts at work, you sort them out. See, I've got all the sharps and the flats, or the black keys, sorted. The ones that work are good. They're right here in this pile. The ones that I need to repair are here. Same thing with the white keys. They are marked, CF, CF. Right here's one that's A, and you set them up accordingly. All the letters. Of course, you probably can't see them in the light here, but right there, they're all marked with the corresponding what key they are. Then you just skip this process and go all the way down octave per octave. Alright, so I've got all the ones sorted, the ones that are in working order and to be cleaned as they're assembled. This is a little spring mechanism. It's under the key. See how it's got tension on it? I call it a tension spring, and on some of them, they're already in place. You see right there? And that's what supplies it. Pushes the key back up once you set it onto the chassis over here. And it makes it go up and down, up and down, up and down. That's what that little piece of metal is for. Alright? So we're putting that back where it belongs, I hope. This one over here, I've repaired it, and I'm going to use it toward the edge of the keyboard. The keys that are broken, that I don't really use, they're either going to be stuck to the far right of the keyboard spectrum or the far left, because, sometimes the note's just too low no matter what I have selected. Same thing on the right. It's too high. I don't use it. I use everything in between. So this is how many I have to repair. All the ones that I have to glue these little things on, or something's wrong with them. Mostly they're just the broken pieces, but I have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 12 keys in all that I need to repair. And they're even going to be, they will either be assembled to the right of the keyboard or the left of the keyboard, because, not that I don't trust my repairs, just if they ever fail when I'm performing or playing the keyboard or something, at least I know where they're at and I can get to them. Because when you break a key, or when you do this, see the tab broke off? In the middle of the keyboard, say, here's the whole spectrum of the keyboard. If you break one of those keys in the middle, you have to do what I'm doing. You've got to take everyone off. If this key was broken, to get to it, all of these keys have to come off of the keyboard to get to that one. That's the way they are in sequence. Sorry, it's the way they make them. There are probably an easier way to do it without doing what I had to do, but the easiest way, so that you will have to avoid breaking down all these keys, is to take the whole chassis off. Because what holds these keys in place from jumping out, you see how this one jumps off? It can jump up real easy. See that? Did you see that jump off? See that one jump up? the thing that keeps them in place is, let's go over here, a simple little plastic doodad like this. It's just a little bracket. If you look at the edge of it, it slips up behind the keyboard. Slips up right there on that ridge. You see the ridge? And that's what keeps those keys in place, is this thing. Don't ask me how I know this. I guess I just figured it out when I'm looking at it. And the reason I have to glue these little tips here, see these little different lengths of tips? You see how they're supposed to be? See that one? The one on the edge? See, there's two of them. Here, let me point them to you. There's one right here. There's one right there. Okay? Because on this assembly here, this is all touch sensitive and touch activated. These little tabs, like I told you in the previous, they're like magnetic, but they just send a magnetic signal. You see how this is? And if I can bring that into focus a little bit, you probably can't see it. But when you press down, it does something. And when you press on the second part, it does something. It's 3 levels to these things. And I don't know if you could see where they're actually separated. There you go. The little oval part that's on the top is actually a separate part too. So, whatever you do, depending on how hard, how strong, or how light you press the key, or how soft you press it, these tabs have to make a contact with these things, these little things, to make sure that the sound is producing the sound that it should be when you select it. So that's what I'm up against. And you see I lost a plastic tab down there. A couple of them. I got to pick them up off the floor. But as of last night, here's where I'm at. Just about halfway. Last night I was only a third of the way because I've got to clean each part and lube it. And here's, you see that white sticky stuff on the keys there? Right here? That's Vaseline, guys. I have to spread some Vaseline, then I have to put the keys on all the way across. So is it a chore? Well, yeah, it's a chore. That's why I have 2 pairs of glasses. I have maybe some refreshing adult beverage. I won't say which one. And a bottle of Windex always helps. And, well, there's the Windex. And, of course, a rag and plenty of small tools. And a lot of time to do this because it's taken me 3 days to take it apart. And it'll probably take me another 10 days to put it back together. But I'll keep you apprised. Have a good evening.